Alright guys, so this is kind of a redux of, well, I guess you could say another redux of another non-comic lineup I once did, and this is a redux of Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this is actually going to have one extra member, even though, yeah, it's based off of the new lineup, the movie lineup, I guess you could say. But I added one extra member since, yeah, we are getting an extra member in the next film, so I figured, what the hell, let me put in an extra team member in this new version of the non-comic Guardians of the Galaxy lineup. So, without further ado, let's get things started. Starting off with the leader, Kyle Katarn. Yeah, Kyle, I would pick from the Star Wars video game Jedi Academy, as well as several others. And, yeah, Kyle would be an interesting character to be the leader because this is a guy who usually has to deal with both the light and the darkness inside him. But I feel like since he's the team's, he would be this team's leader because I feel like he would realize that, certain measures would be needed to be taken to protect the galaxy. Yeah, certain measures would be needed, and this team would be willing to do those said certain measures to protect, their respective worlds. So that's what I feel like they would do. Yeah. Also, Kyle's pretty smart. He's very street smart, as well as he is also, he was at the Jedi Academy in the previous canon, he was the Jedi Academy's battle master. So he was pretty strategic. He was a great leader. So I would say, yeah, he would make I think he would make a pretty interesting leader for this incarnation of the Guardians of the Galaxy. And yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun to see him kind of interact, especially with a lot of the team members I have for this incarnation of the lineup. So there you go, Kyle Katarn as the leader of this version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So next up is Tigra from Thundercats. Tigra would be an excellent, I think he would make an excellent second in command for this version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's also incredibly intelligent. He's a skilled warrior, and also I think he would be willing to kind of do what was necessary to protect the galaxy. You gotta also remember that Tigra's a bit of a scientist himself. He's pretty intelligent in the original universe, in the original '80s cartoon. And yeah, for those wondering which one I'm using, am I using the reboot series or the original Tigra? It's the Tigra from the '80s cartoon. That's the one I'm using for this lineup. Is that it's that version of Tigra. Now, the other thing with Tigra is that he's in the original series he was kind of a scientist, so I think he would be pretty intelligent, as well as I think he would also, when Kyle wasn't around, I think he would be a great guy to step it up and really become a great leader for this version of the team. I think he would be, ready, willing, and able to, in case of if Kyle went down or Kyle went missing or he just wasn't there. I think Tigra would be a great guy to step in and take charge of the situation. So that's how I kind of look at it with Tigra, was that he would be just an excellent second command as he was with the Thundercats. So there you go. So next up is Tali Zorah. Yeah, Tali Zorah Vos Normandy from the Mass Effect series. Tali would be this team's engineer for their ship. I don't know what you could use for their ship, but yeah, Tali would be this group's engineer. She would be the one who would constantly be taking care of the ship, as well as you got to remember, Tali can fight too. She's a pretty decent fighter herself, but her main thing is engineering, and she would be, I guess you could say the team's equivalent to Geordi in a way. I guess that would be the way you could look at it with her. Is that she's this group's equivalent to Geordi, and she would be the one who would just basically make sure the ship's okay. But if she ever was needed on the ground for something, for something technological, they would be like, okay, get Tali for this. Like if they're trying to disassemble a bomb or they're trying to figure out the schematics to a ship, they'd be like, yeah, let's get Tali. Just get Tali. Let's get Tali to figure this out while we try to handle this situation. And again, like I said, Tali can fight. Remember, she was a commanding officer in her fleet. So I think it would be really cool to have her on this team, and I think it would be a lot of fun to see her interact with the likes of Kyle. I think Tali would look at Kyle and think a lot like Shepard. Like, she would see a lot of Shepard in Kyle and his leadership in this version of the team. I think she would see a lot of that kind of willingness to do what's needed to be done and willing to go outside of the law to, protect their worlds. So I think that would be a major reason of why Tali would follow Kyle and join with this kind of like band of miscreant, this band of outsiders to protect protect the world, protect the galaxy. Mostly because it would be like being on the crew of the Normandy again, but it would be a little smaller. And I think her and I wouldn't say her and Kyle would form a loving relationship, but I think they would have a lot of respect. Yeah, her and Kyle would have a lot of respect for one another. So there you go. Tali Zorah, another great member for this team. I think she would be an excellent addition. So having said that, let's move on. So next up is Peridot from, of course, Steven Universe. Now, Peridot would be the team scientist. Now, I know what you're thinking, but wait a minute, you already have Tali, so why would you need someone else here? Well, mostly because I think Peridot would be the team scientist. Yeah, she would be the team scientist, while Tali would be the team's engineer. It's very much like how in Star Trek you have Mr. Spock, who he's a great scientist. He's a science officer, but he doesn't know a thing about the engineering. That's where Mr. Scott comes in. So that's how I kind of view this situation, where you can have two brains on the team, two different minds on the team. Although I'm pretty sure Peridot would also be helping Tali, do repairs for the ship, as well as several other things of that nature. I think that's what she would be doing. But Peridot, I don't see her a lot on the field. Peridot would be the one back on the ship being like, okay, this is what we're doing, this is, this is what I'm doing, I'm studying this, I'm doing that. She wouldn't be like Rocket Raccoon, where she would just build a gun. Actually, no, I do think I take that back. I do think she would build a weapon of some type to... I do think she would build a weapon of some type to help, to engage the enemy, but I think it would be more like upgrading the ship's weaponry to combat enemies. I don't see her going down on the field, especially in combat situations. I think she would be like, I'd go with you, but I really don't want to. I also think she would be a gas to hang out with the rest of the team, kind of interacting with her, where she would be like, I am the supreme leader of this team. Really, Peridot? Okay, Kyle's the leader, but I'm the real leader of this operation. I'm the true brains behind the outfit. So that's what I kind of see from Peridot in this situation, is that she would be, the team scientist. I could see her a lot hanging. I think Tali and her would not get along at first, but I think they would grow on each other. But I think Peridot would. I think her kind of antics, especially with this version of the team, I think they would be like, okay, Perry, we get it. You're smart. Stop it. So that's how I kind of see it with her. Anyway, so there you go. So moving on to the next member, and that is the Arbiter from Halo. Yeah, Arbiter would be an excellent member to this team. I don't think he would want leadership of this group. I think he would just join this kind of team for, to protect his people. That would be a major reason he would want to join this group to make sure his species lived on. But Arbiter, I think, would be an interesting addition to this team. I think he would look at Kyle and Tigra and these other members. They would be strange to him. They would all be very strange beings to him. But in the end, I do see him kind of having a lot of kind of like a warrior's respect, especially for Kyle. I think his methods would Kyle's methods would be a little strange to him at first, but I think I could see a lot of potential for them working together. Like, they would easily meld together eventually after seeing that kind of unorthodox fighting method, as well as a strategy that Kyle has under his belt. But I think Arbiter would kind of eventually roll with those kind of ideas. Among other things, I could see Arbiter basically helping out with the strategy. Remember, you got to look at it as that I would imagine Arbiter would probably be one of the oldest, if not the old. Well, excluding Peridot, he would be the oldest member of the team, and also the one with the most battle experience. Remember, the Arbiter has kind of lived a life but nothing but war and conflict, so I think he would be the main strategist of the team. I think he would be the one who would go in and kind of talk to them and be like, okay, this is how I kind of see the situation rolling out. And I'd also love to see his version of planning and mix it with Kyle's as well. I'd love to see what they could possibly come up with in terms of fighting an enemy or enemies. But anyway, so there you go, the Arbiter. And our final member of the team is none other than Sailor Saturn. Now, Sailor Saturn would provide the majority of the muscle to this team. She would be the one who they would send in to completely wreck shit. Remember, Sailor Saturn was a major powerhouse in the original manga, as well as I think they're showing how powerful she is in the Crystal anime as well. But yeah, Sailor Saturn would be the one that would be like, okay, Saturn, go in there and show them what you can do. Like, if they're fighting, like, a swarm of enemies, they would send in Sailor Saturn to just completely annihilate everything in her path. So that's how I kind of see it, anyway. So, yeah, she would be the team, she doesn't look like much, but if you know the Sailor Moon anime, then you guys know how powerful she is. So anyway, there you go, guys. That is the redux of my non-comic Guardians of the Galaxy team. So just comment below, let me know. And once again, this was just my team, and these are just characters I thought of that I could see working on this team. But you guys tell me in the comments below, who would you put on your Guardians of the Galaxy team? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.